Good morning, guys. It is day one of our California cheese adventure. So today we are headed to Modesto in California, but I think our first stop is actually the Ferry Building in San Francisco. The Ferry Building is considered one of the most iconic landmarks of San Francisco today. It was restored last 2003 into this beautiful structure that partly houses this very marketplace we visited. The Ferry Building Marketplace is a great location to get a feel of the artisanal local products the Bay Area has to offer. You can even sample many of the products before you buy. My favorite find here were the savory jams from McAvoy Ranch. They had a chef prepare some grilled cheese sandwiches using the jams as a way to sample them, and I thought this was such a clever approach. I tried them and ended up buying 2 bottles. Now to wash down my little snack, I bought some New Orleans iced coffee from Blue Bottle. Not forgetting that this is a cheese crawl, we paid a visit to the famous Cowgirl Creamery. The great thing about them is that they support fellow artisan cheesemakers, so they also display other cheese brands in their stores aside from their own. Their cheese experts are happy to assist you with finding the right cheese for you, and you can even try them before you buy them. Culinary Cheese Company is a family-owned farmstead. Currently, it is being managed by 4th-generation Fiscalinis, and Laura here is one of them. She introduced the brand to us and personally accompanied us during our tour. Their head cheesemaker, Alex Borgo, explained to us the mix of modern and traditional methods they use at Fiscalini to produce their artisan cheeses. They even have this turning room where they manually flip tons of cheese during the aging process. They get their milk from cows they raise on their own, but it doesn't stop once the cheese is produced. All the waste from both the cows and the cheesemaking process gets sent to their methane digester, which they built inside their farm, and they convert all that waste into energy, specifically electricity. This powers up their plant and also 300 homes in this area. That is so cool. Possibly as cool as the smoked cheese room, where it smelled so good it made my mouth water. Thankfully, we got to eat some cheese before we left for our next stop. Hilmar is one of the biggest cheese manufacturers in the world. They have a visitor center that aims to educate people about cheese and the ways the cheese industry focuses on sustainable practices. Hilmar gets the milk for their cheese from local family-owned dairy farms that treat their cows with the best care. Because good milk can only come from happy cows, a lot of effort goes into making sure the cows are comfortable, well-fed, and never over-milked. Now, the fun part about a tour at Hilmar is how they want you to learn how to make cheese too. So we went through the entire process of adding cultures and the rennet. And voila! We managed to create cheese! Even funner still was getting to spend a little time at the cafe/gift shop.
So we bought this one. Sarap niya.
Dinner that day was at a place called Dewz in Modesto, California. The owner is actually part Filipino, which is pretty cool. And I gotta say, this was probably the best dinner we had during the entire trip.
Hello! It's day 2 of our California cheese crawl. And even though hindi ako nakatulog last night sa sobrang jet lag, excited pa rin ako for today because we're going to Napa Valley!
After a long drive to Napa Valley, we stopped by Gott's Roadside for lunch. They make great tacos and burgers. Highly recommend a stop here if you are able to come. We arrive at our first stop for the day, which is the Hogwarts School of Cooking Schools. The Culinary Institute of America, CIA for short, at Greystone, is a private culinary college that houses around 300 students in a state-of-the-art campus. A lot of great chefs are graduates from this school. This building used to be a winery, which is why it has this barrel room, but now it's used as a special events area for things like weddings or big celebrations. However, the CIA does have a special room where you can learn about wines. Before you go, you may want to pop into their Spice Islands marketplace for kitchen and pantry stuff, as well as browse their amazing cookbook collection. The highlight of the day was definitely our visit to the Louis M. Martini Winery. It was nice knowing the story behind the name Louis M. Martini. He came from Italy, a clueless boy of 12, but his passion and talent for winemaking made him push himself to work hard. After the Prohibition era in the US, he became one of the pioneering figures of winemaking in Napa Valley.
His father came out to San Francisco first to start working in the fishing industry, but needed a little bit of help. So they'd save up enough money to send one boy over at a time.
My favorite wine that we drank during this tour was this $100 2015 Monterosso Cabernet. It was exquisite with the amazing cheese board they prepared for us. Dinner was at the nearby harvest table. It was an affair of dishes made using fresh and local ingredients.
Hey guys, it's day 3 of our California cheese roll with real California milk. And right now we're here at the Valley Forge Cheese and Creamery. So let's go.
How is everyone today?
Our last stop is another family-owned dairy farm focused on making artisan cheeses using sustainable practices. They ventured into cheesemaking in the mid-2000s, winning awards left and right for their Estero Gold Reserve and Grazing Girl Gorgonzola. They organized a cheese tasting for us, and I got to try Nicasio Valley cheese for the first time. I was excited to see Point Reyes cheese there. They make the best blue cheese I have ever tasted. Finally, we got to try Valley Forge's lineup of cheeses.
The Estero Gold, kind of like a nutty Swiss. This here is going to be 16 months old.
My favorite here is their signature cheese, the Estero Gold Reserve, and I totally get why it's won awards. After the tasting, they served us lunch off the menu of their cafe. The highlight was the kimchi grilled cheese sandwiches. The kimchi is made by a neighbor and the sourdough bread is made in-house. We had a sweet ending and a fabulous cup of black oak coffee. I had such a great time thanks to the warm welcome we had at Valley Forge Cheese and Creamery. As we drove back to the city, I couldn't help but feel bittersweet about leaving the beautiful California countryside. Soon enough, we were in San Francisco, Suddenly, all the grass and blue skies were replaced with concrete and fog. Pepe and I tried to get a glimpse of the Golden Gate at Baker Beach, but the fog was too thick. It was also super cold, and I couldn't help but think about the contrast in scenery and weather versus the countryside.
Hey friends, it's our last day here in California. We're flying back home tonight. Actually, it's our free day today, so yung plano talaga namin is just to shop around the Union Square area, and then we're gonna go on a food trip in the afternoon at the Mission District.
Actually, we didn't get to do the food trip, but we did grab some really good coffee from Mazarin. And then I dropped by Trader Joe's to buy some stuff. When I got to the cheese aisle, I couldn't help but get a smile on my face. This last day in the city, I kept looking back on the past 3 days. This trip really opened my eyes to the sustainability efforts these companies apply to their cheese making. They're obviously very passionate about what they do, but they're not forgetting their responsibility to the environment as well. I, for one, really appreciate that. After this trip, I found myself becoming more conscious about looking for the real California milk seal every time I buy my cheese. To me, it just truly feels like a seal that I can trust. And of course, it helps that California cheese is actually really good. I have more detailed posts on my blog with links in the description box below. Do check them out to get a better idea about the places I showed in this video. If you enjoyed this vlog, hit the like and subscribe button for more.